Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple, your no shit gaming news video. That's 3 news stories in one video with zero faff. Last Friday saw some of the best news I've seen all year. No matter where you stand in the US election, something I'm sure we can all get together and enjoy is the news that the Mass Effect trilogy is at long last getting a remaster, and it's due to launch in spring 2021. After seemingly endless rumors and reports, it is official, it's finally happening.
Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
This remaster was announced on N7 Day in a blog post by BioWare, and the official Twitter accounts also shared a teaser trailer. The blog post was by studio head Casey Hudson, and he went into more detail. It's tough keeping a big secret, and we really struggled to keep this one a surprise, but now it's official. Today we announced the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We've heard, for years, your requests for a Mass Effect remaster, and we're super happy to finally reveal that we've been working on a remastered edition of the Mass Effect trilogy. This Legendary Edition is a remaster, not a full remake, so it will be an updated version of the original trilogy rather than a complete overhaul. For many months now, our team at BioWare has been hard at work updating the textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features of 3 enormous games. Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in its best form. It's been amazing to see the adventures of Commander Shepard take on a new life in super sharp resolution, faster frame rates, and beautiful visual enhancements. Having the opportunity to remaster the trilogy means that the fruits of a decade of our work will live on and will be experienced better and clearer than ever before. So the long and short of it is that this remaster will be a prettier, smoother version of the original, but means that the gameplay itself could still feel a bit outdated. The games came out in 2007, 10 and 12 respectively, and as such many of their fundamentals are very dated by modern standards. The first one in particular has very poor shooting mechanics, but all the RPG and decision making stuff is still top notch. With each entry the games moved closer to typical third person shooters and became less focused on the RPG mechanics, but the series is still the definitive sci-fi RPG series. In addition to performance and visual improvements, the Legendary Edition will also feature all DLC for the whole trilogy, including promo packs for armor and weapons. This is actually a huge win because entire characters were previously locked behind various pre-order bonuses or paywalls, which was very controversial at the time, so this way you'll actually get the whole package. It will launch next spring for PC and on current gen consoles, but will also have forwards compatibility with next gen. The blog post actually continued with Hudson announcing a brand new Mass Effect project is in the works. Meanwhile, here at BioWare, a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. We are in the early stages of the project, and I can't say any more just yet, but we're looking forward to sharing our vision for where we'll be going next. The announcement of a new game in the series will certainly excite longtime fans, but many met it with trepidation. The latest entry to the franchise was 2017's Mass Effect Andromeda, which had numerous problems at launch and behind the scenes, which ultimately soured the brand as a whole. EA doesn't exactly have a reputation for treating its franchises or employees with the most respect, so it's their job now to prove that this game is actually worth getting excited about. The teaser trailer shared to Twitter doesn't show anything of note and just plays the track and end once and for all, with dramatic shots of some companions like Miranda, Tali, Liara, Mordin, Rex, and most importantly, my boy Garrus.
Damn right. Damn right.
I only started playing the series this year, so I fast-tracked my fandom of Commander Shepard's adventure, but I'm still really interested in the idea of a remaster. On top of visual and performance updates, I'd love to see the combat streamlined more to modern standards, but then again, there is something oddly charming about all the jank that's in the first game. What about you? Are you excited about Mass Effect Legendary Edition, or do you not trust EA to tie its own shoes, let alone update one of the most popular video game franchises of all time? And next up, Disney dominates the movie landscape these days, with 7 of the top 10 highest-grossing movies of 2019 coming from its studios, plus Spider-Man, which it kind of half owns, half doesn't with Sony. The number 1 spot is held by Avengers Endgame, which is also the highest selling film of all time, but that sort of success has not carried over to the Avengers game by Square Enix. According to Square Enix's latest financial report for the 6-month period ending September 30th, the company saw profits increase compared to the same period in 2019, no doubt due to the Foster's Fever. However, when looking at the quarterly figures for Square's Digital Entertainment HD Games section, things look much worse for the superheroes. In their first fiscal quarter of 2021, which spans April to June and saw the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, the company earned 34.1 billion yen with an operating income of 10 billion yen, meaning Square Enix got a tasty bit of profit, especially year over year. Compare that to the following quarter, which spans July to September and saw the release of Marvel's Avengers, net sales fell to 23.7 billion and operating income was at a 5 billion loss. Square Enix didn't provide any specific numbers on Avengers sales losses, but according to industry analyst David Gibson, it was pretty damn severe. Gibson says that Square suffered a loss of 6.5 billion yen and that they only sold 60% of the projected amount. He suggests that this means the game cost $100 million to make but only sold 3 million copies. A game about the Avengers, the biggest IP on the planet at the moment, that launched on all 3 major platforms only selling 3 million units is a disaster. Gibson added in a subsequent tweet that he thought the cost of the game was between $170 and $190 million, which is absolutely huge even by AAA game standards. Much of that will have gone on marketing and whatnot, but it's still a staggering amount of money to spend on a game that ultimately flopped pretty damn hard. Even after several betas, the game still launched in a piss poor state with very little content. Square Enix sent me a review code at the time, so check out my review if you want to know more, but long story short, it's not a good one. Since launch, the game has been slowly sleepwalking to death as players drop off and it repeats the exact same mistakes of games like Anthem and the original Destiny. Square even delayed the next-gen upgrades until next year, along with the DLC characters of Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. I really wanted this game to be good, as I've loved and grown up with these characters, and even though there is a good game and story somewhere deep in there, it's just bogged down by all the usual games as a service crap. Games like this live and die by the support the developers can give them, and if nothing can be done soon, Marvel's Avengers will dissolve faster than those hit by the snap.
I don't feel so good.
And finally, today is the day for Xbox fans as the Xbox Series X launches and the next generation of console gaming begins. However, yet another delay to Microsoft's roster means that the generation goes off with a slightly smaller bang. To be honest, it's more like a faint pop at this point. Bloober Team's The Medium is the latest victim of not only the Foster's Fever, but also the juggernaut that is Cyberpunk 2077. The game was originally billed to launch on the exact same day as Cyberpunk on December 10th. As announced on Twitter, the revised release date is now January 28th, and the statement reads, "It wasn't an easy choice to make, but due to the Foster's Fever situation in Poland, as well as the current schedule of other games on the market, Bloober Team remains committed to delivering our biggest, most ambitious, fear-inducing experience to date." Interestingly, just like CD Projekt, Bloober Team is a Polish developer, so I wonder if that also factored into their decision. I'd imagine that both games would sell particularly well in Poland, meaning that the damage to the Medium would be even more severe when competing with Cyberpunk. They both would be competing on home turf. Unfortunately for Xbox Series X owners though, you're left with little to play this side of 2021. The situation with the PS5 isn't exactly any better, but it looks like the start to this generation is a bit of a quiet one. And that's your lot for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. That's all for today. I've been Henry Cooper. Bye for now.